welcome back to the channel. If you haven't done this already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for sure, and share the video so people can get it out. I'm a real small channel, but I'm very honest. I'm an honest citizen that carries every day, that likes to give you my opinion on some of the things in the firearms industry. So give me a subscribe, give me a like, share the video, and get in the comments down there and ask questions. I always appreciate questions. All right, guys, today we want to look at a couple of new products from Aero Precision. Well, not a couple of new products, just one new product really. And that would be their suppressors or silencers. They're actually suppressors. These things won't silence a gunshot, right? It won't be so quiet like you might see in the movie sometimes where it sounds like just air. They suppress the sound from a gunshot, that supersonic crack, and they suppress also the flash, or they hide the flash of the shot as well. So, but Aero Precision has started making their own suppressors, and I've picked up a couple. Now, first of all, what is my relationship to Aero Precision? Well, as an 07 FFL 02 SOT, I am an Aero Precision dealer. So I do, or I can purchase from them at wholesale pricing. But other than that, when it comes to these suppressors or anything else that I have reviewed of Aero Precision, there is no relationship whatsoever, right? So I ordered these and paid for them, and that's the beauty of being an FFL, I suppose. I can order suppressors and just have them shipped right to me. Well, you have to be an SOT too, but we're not getting into that. The relationship between myself and Aero. I'm a dealer of theirs, so I can sell their products. I have built several rifles from their parts, their lowers, their uppers. I've used their bolt carrier groups, their lower parts, their upper parts, their barrels, handguards, just whatever, muzzle devices. The VG muzzle devices. They're pretty nice. So that's my relationship. I've used their products. I really like their products, and they have no idea I'm doing this video. So I have no. I'm unbiased as to what I say about these things, and I just got these in today. So I have opened them up and looked at them a little bit, but I haven't shot either one of them. These are going to be demonstration suppressors for my business, where I can take them out and demo them for customers to see how they would like them, or have them available so they can see them and see if they might want to purchase them. So we're going to take a peek at them today and see what they are, and we're going to compare them to a couple of suppressors that I have. The personal suppressor that I run, which is a Surefire Socom RC2. So it's a 7.62 suppressor that is 30 caliber, and I really love this suppressor. And I also have one in my inventory that I may pick up personally at some point. But it is the Surefire Socom SPS 300. Now, it's almost the same as the RC2. The RC2, you can see, is a little bit longer. And the SPS 300 was actually designed specifically for the 300 blackout. And it's a little bit quieter than the Socom. The Socom is a tank. The SPS is a tank too. Let's not say it's not. But anyway, we're going to compare kind of sort of the look and the feel of the Aero suppressors to these Surefires, which is a good thing to do. So let's look at them now. A couple of little things about the Aero suppressors. So they come in 3 versions. They're all called the Lahar. You have the Lahar 30, the Lahar 30K, and the Lahar 30L. Now what that means is the Lahar 30 is their standard suppressor, and it's 6.2 inches long. It's their standard size, and what they claim on their website, it weighs 1.04 pounds. The Lahar 30K will be the shorty, if you will. It's a shorter suppressor, so it's about an inch shorter, a little over an inch actually. They say 6.2 inches for the 30. The K is 5.1 inches long and weighs just under a pound, like 0.89 pounds. And you have the Lahar 30L, which is 7.7 inches long and weighs in accordingly at 1.32 pounds. So you have the 30K is the shortest, the 30 is the standard, and the 30L is the long. Now, what I purchased was the 30K, so I have the short suppressor, and that may not be this one, it's one of these two, right? But I purchased the 30K and the 30L, so I got a short one and a long one. The short suppressor would do really well on like a short rifle loadout, like a really short rifle 5.56 or a short rifle 300, which is what I'm going to demo this on. More than likely is going to be on a 300 blackout. And if I can shorten it a good bit and have a shorter package, that just really enhances what that 300 blackout's about. And the long version should be the quietest of the bunch. In fact, they claim, I have some stats on it somewhere. So from a 300 blackout position, the 30K boasts 127 decibels is what they say. Now, I will not be able to measure that. I do not have the equipment. So 127 decibels on the 30K, 122 decibels on the 30, and 120 decibels on the 30L. So it's a decent, you get a decent pickup on the the longer it is. And my idea of where I will demo the long is going to be on a long-range rifle. So it will probably go on my 6.5 PRC that I'll take out to a local range that I do a lot of shooting with a bunch of different shooters and let them check that out. So we're gonna open them up. We're gonna take a peek at them and see what the construction's like, and I'll tell you what I think about it out of the gate. And it'll be a completely unbiased opinion. And yeah, I just hope that my hope in this video is that I can help you make a decision on down the road. All right, so let's open up let's see which one this is. This is the 30L. Let's open up the 30K first. So this is the short one. And when you open it up, you get a few things in it. You get a Lahar patch here, and you get some stickers which may have come out of this. My 6-year-old may or may have not have gotten a hold of some of the Aero stickers from in here. And you get some literature that goes with it, and then inside you have the suppressor itself, and you have your wrenches to attach it. And then the suppressor. So here is let me get the box out of the way here. Make a little more room. So here we have the Lahar 30K suppressor, and like I said, they say that it is 5.1 inches, and I mean, I don't have to check it, I don't guess, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. If you measure the totality of it to the direct thread right here, it's just a shade over 5 inches, which is really, really neat. Now I'll tell you, initially it feels a little heavy. It does feel a little heavy, but now the construction of these things is, the outside construction is 17.4 stainless steel, and the baffles on the inside are an Inconel blast baffle. Now the Inconel is a really strong metal that withstands a lot of heat. So a lot of companies use that, but Inconel is kind of heavy. So the suppressor has a little weight to it, which is not always a bad thing. It's not terrible, just under a pound. And in a minute, what we're going to do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the weight of these to the Surefires. Now this one is shorter than any Surefire I have, so it won't be a real good comparison, but the Lahar 30L will be a good comparison. So yeah, it's got a little weight to it, but that's good. The construction of it overall looks fantastic. And as far as mounting options are concerned, they have two. So you have a direct thread, which we're going to do here in a minute. This can be removed, and you could add a quick mount system onto it, which I will do at one point. Aero Precision has their own quick mount system. It is called the mantle system. I don't have that right now. It wasn't available when I bought this, but it's supposed to be coming out this month, I think, and I'll get one of those and we'll check it out and see. But they made the threads are an industry standard thread, so there will be multiple options for quick mounts on these suppressors. For right now, I'm going to direct thread this onto my 300 blackout. So what I did when I purchased these is they didn't have any 1/2 by 28 available. So I purchased 5/8 by 24 thread, which is what my 300 blackout is, and it's also what my 6.5 PRC is. So that worked out great for me. So I will direct thread these for the moment. And when I test them, that's what I'll do. And in this video, a little later, I may cut it in now that I'm talking about this one. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a few rounds through this and see what it's like in the 300. Now, what are they rated for? Well, there's no barrel minimum length. There's no barrel maximum length. They are a fully welded suppressor, so you cannot take them apart. You cannot break them down, take the baffles out, or anything like that. So they're not self-serviceable. They hardly ever need cleaning. And, yeah, it seems to me that they're constructed very, very well. Now, they are full auto rated. Now, most of you out there won't need that, unless you're really quick on the trigger, which some people are, I guess, and there are a lot of binary triggers and stuff out there. But they are full auto rated. I will run my machine gun lower with these at some point and actually test that out and see how they hold up. So they're full auto rated. They have modular attachments. I've already spoken about that, and they all come in 30 caliber. So one caliber 30. Now, before I move on and we look at the 30L, which is going to look basically just like this, same construction, it's just going to be longer. I want to talk about the 30 caliber. Some people would say that if you have a caliber specific suppressor, you're in better shape than having like one that does many different jobs. I don't actually agree with that. Yes, if I was going to shoot this on a 5.56, right? And I bought it caliber specific for a 5.56, right? It would probably be a little bit quieter. Would it be noticeably quieter? Probably not. Having a 30 caliber suppressor to me just makes the most sense, because you can use this on 30 cals, you can use it on 277, you can use it on 164, so 6.5 millimeters, 6 millimeter. 22 caliber, so your 223s, 224 Valkyrie, you can use it on all those, and it's going to work really well. So for me, it just seems best to have a 30 caliber that can do multiple different calibers. Now, this is rated for 30 caliber up to 300 Win Mag, like I said, and full auto rated, which is a big deal. And yeah, it is, but you would not want to shoot 22 long rifle or 22 Magnum through this. It's going to cause some serious instability of the bullet. It's going to really slow it down, and it's going to make the suppressor way dirtier than it should. So no 22 long rifle, no 22 Magnum, but yes, 5.56 and up to 300 Win Mag. You can run all those calibers on this one suppressor. Now, they claim the concentricity, which is the how well the suppressor aligns, the baffles of the suppressor with the threaded in here that goes on your barrel, and all that are going to line up perfectly. We're going to check that in a minute. I'm going to take my 30 caliber or my 300 blackout barrel, and we are going to thread this on there and check the concentricity with an alignment rod. And if you're out there buying suppressors and you don't get them checked before you put them on, shame on you. Now, do you have to? I would say you do. Now, you could buy a suppressor like this made by a reputable company, and you could buy you could have a barrel from a reputable company that has been factory threaded, and you can probably be pretty sure that you can thread them together and they're going to work. Now, if you're going to use a muzzle device to attach this to through a quick attachment system, that gets a little bit different, because you're going to need shims in order to time your muzzle device, and those shims could throw off the concentricity a little bit. So you really want to make sure you check these with alignment rods if you use muzzle devices, because of the concentricity. Because what you don't want is to buy a suppressor, wait they say 3 months now, but it could be 10 months to a year just to get the thing, put it on, and have a baffle strike on the first shot. Sure, the company will probably stand behind it and help you out and fix it for you, but now you're out of a suppressor for a while again, right? So checking the concentricity and making sure that the proper alignment is there with an alignment rod is an important thing to do. Now, alignment rods can be expensive. As a manufacturer, I have I have a bunch. I have them from 22 caliber up to 9mm, and pretty much everything in between. But it's just a really safe thing to do. But we're going to do that in a minute. We are going to thread this on my 300 blackout and see if the concentricity is there. So that's the 30K. Now, let's take a look at the 30L, and we'll put them side by side and check them out. Again, and I probably have some literature from the other one in here. But you get some literature and a couple of stickers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my 6-year-old got this one out of the other box. And, like I said, a patch that comes in, and then, of course, the same wrenches and the suppressor. Again, may edit the part out of me putting the box back up, but I may not. I may just leave it in there. So now we have the 30L, which is the longer one, and you can see it is much longer than the 30K. It's 7.2 inches versus 5.1, so yeah, we got a definitely a bit longer and a bit weightier. Definitely has a little weight to it. Now this is going to be more comparable to my Surefire RC2. In fact, they are pretty much the same size. These two would be good to check the weight on to see what the difference is. And I do believe that the Surefire is going to be just a little bit lighter than the Aero. Yeah, so let's check that now. Okay, so we have our scale here. Let's get it turned on. Now, this is not going to be an accurate measurement of the weight because I'm on a little bit of carpet here, so it's got a little give to it. Really, when you measure weight on a scale like this, on a digital scale, you want to have it on a really, really firm base, which this is my workbench, my gunsmithing bench, so it is really solid. But it is not really set up for this. But what we're looking for is the difference in weight, so it should work perfectly fine for that. Now, the Lahar 30L, so this is the long one. This is the one that's very comparable to the Surefire RC2, the Socom RC2. So let's see what they weigh. So 1 pound, 5.2 ounces is what this scale says. 1 pound, 5.2 ounces. 1 pound, 5.2 ounces for the 30L. Now the Surefire Socom RC2, 1 pound, 4.7 ounces. So we're talking about a half an ounce. The Lahar 30L is about a half an ounce heavier. Now, I'm not really doing a comparison video. I will do a comparison video completely before, but I will have to say here that weight includes the quick connect system of the Surefire, whereas with the Lahar it does not. So once you add the quick connect system, you're going to add a few ounces at least to this. So it may end up being an ounce or so heavier overall with the quick connect. But as it stands, just with direct thread here and the quick disconnect here, the Lahar is about a half ounce heavier. Now, is that something that is going to keep me from going with this over that? No. For one thing, the price difference. The Surefire is a lot more expensive. But you are getting a quick disconnect too. So to compare apples to apples, I would have to factor in how much the quick disconnect is for this as well, which is something I'll do down the line when I compare both of these. Now, I don't think it's fair to put it up against the SPS 300. The SPS 300 is a little smaller than the RC2, but let's just see what it weighs. So it's 1.24, 1 pounds, 2.4 ounces. So it's about 3.5 ounces lighter than the L of the Lahar. Again, just kind of a basic comparison there to give you an idea of how heavy these are. They're not crazy. In fact, I think this one is going to be really nice on my 300 blackout because I'm picking up a good bit of difference in weight. This is 14.1 ounces compared to 1 pound 4 ounces. So I'm picking up 6-7 ounces of weight reduction when I use this suppressor here on my 300. So I'm really going to like that. All right, so now I'm going to pause the video for a second, and we're going to get ready to do the direct thread with the K and check the concentricity of it. And we'll check both the K and the L to see how they both stand up with concentricity as we go. Okay, so now I have my 300 blackout upper here. Never mind this little pressure pad wire is where my Surefire scout light was attached there. I needed to get off to be able to remove the muzzle device. This thing's had a Surefire 3-prong flash hider on it for quite a while, a couple of years. So I had to do some serious cleaning on the threads there because of the rock set. But anyway, we have it on, we have it mounted, and it mounted up very nicely, flush up against the shoulder of the barrel, nice and flush, good and tight. Yeah, marries up really well, and it's a whole lot shorter. I mean, usually I'm out here like that. So I'm picking up a lot of length, and I'm picking up a lot of weight too. So there's good weight reduction there. Now, concentricity, that's what we wanted to check and see. And guys, too, if you didn't notice, there's no bolt carrier group or anything in here. It's very, very safe. I can look right down the barrel, no problem at all. Because checking concentricity actually requires you to look down the barrel. So here I have it is a Surefire 762 bore alignment rod. I said these aren't really cheap. I think they're like, I don't know, 70, 80 bucks, something like that. But I keep them on hand because I'm a manufacturer, like I said. Now, it's fairly simple how this works. You can do it a couple different ways. I'm going to do it with a suppressor on it. And you just stick the rod in. But you can stick the rod in first, and you can also add a little bit of lubricant if you want, or you can just be really careful and stick the rod all the way in until the end is even with the front cap of the suppressor. And then you check to see where that alignment is. And you'll see, hopefully that's focusing there good, that rod is almost dead center. Dead center, which means that your projectile, when it comes out of your barrel, is going to be going directly through the baffles. You will not worry about a baffle strike. But again, it's an easy check to do to assure that when you shoot this for the first time, when you shoot your suppressor for the first time, you don't get a baffle strike. Okay. So let's ease that rod out. So the K is good, aligns perfectly. Okay, now let's switch over to the K and see how it aligns. Say my threads are still covered a little bit with rock set, not terrible. Just trying to get this video done. Let's put the K on here. I mean the L, sorry, not the K. The K is what we had on there. Make sure we are good and married to the shoulder. And we are. So there's the K, and that doesn't look terrible, even like that. I mean, it's basically the same thing again as the Surefire. It'll actually be a little bit shorter with the direct thread. And the weight's not terrible either. Kind of balances out. Alright, so there's the L. Let's check concentricity on the L. Perfect. Let's see, the alignment rod is center of the suppressor, assuring again that upon first fire you will not have a baffle strike, which will ruin the day of any new suppressor owner. So I highly recommend either purchasing an alignment rod for the caliber that you are going to use, or the calibers, multiple, because they are caliber specific, or having a gunsmith that already has these rods check your suppressor for you, the suppressor alignment for you. Like if you could have the gunsmith that you, or the dealer that you buy it from, they could have the rods too and check it. You could bring your guns in and make sure that they're aligned. I mean, that's what a good dealer would do. That's what I do. But not everybody does that. So if you buy a suppressor from me, I am going to check the alignment for you on the gun you're going to use it on. Right? And I'm going to help you get there, because I usually am the one that that would mount the muzzle device if it has a muzzle device. But I'm always going to check concentricity with an alignment rod, because I don't want a customer going out, putting their suppressor on, having a baffle strike right out of the gate, and then coming back and complaining to me. But that's me, right? That's who I am. Now, what is the initial? What are my initial thoughts on the new Aero Precision suppressors? I think they're good quality, or they seem to be good quality. They feel like good quality. They definitely don't feel cheap. The threads are really nice. Had no problem marrying them up. Like I said, concentricity checked out beautifully. So yeah. And one last thing on the concentricity before I quit. You're not guaranteed that the thread on your factory barrel is going to be perfect, or you're not guaranteed that the factory thread on the suppressor you get is going to be perfect. You're especially not guaranteed that the factory thread barrel with a factory thread muzzle device that you have to shim to time when you put it on and torque it down, you're absolutely not guaranteed that that's going to be aligned properly. Concentricity is very important when you're shooting a suppressor. These things are too expensive, they take too long to get in and too long to transfer to have baffle strikes right out the door. So again, I can't stress enough about using an alignment rod. Now, back to the Aero suppressors. Like, I go on a little bit of a rant there, but it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. I'm really impressed with the initial build quality. We're going to see how they do on sound suppression here. And in fact, if I've already placed these into the videos, I've probably overlaid some audio on that. But I will go out and run a few rounds through each of these, the K and the L, in my 300 blackout. And they will be 220 grain subsonic ammunition, just full nose, full metal jacket rounds. So they should be really quiet. But we'll get kind of an idea of what the difference is with the K and the L on suppressing a 300 blackout. Later, I will probably do the same type test with the 6.5 PRC. I don't expect the shorty to do very well there. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. That's a pretty fast round for it to suppress. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to check them on a 5.56 right now. I know a lot of you out there probably are wondering about that, because this would work really well on a short barrel 5.56, wouldn't it? It really would. And I will eventually do that when the direct threads are available for this. Not the direct thread, the quick attachment. I'll get a quick attachment where I can put it on a 5.56 and give it a run. But for now, it's going to be 300 blackout and 6.5 PRC. So again, my initial out-of-the-box impression with the Aero suppressors is that I like them. I like them. That doesn't mean they're going to be a good suppressor. Hopefully they will be. Most everything that I have used from Aero, I say most everything, everything I've used from Aero has treated me very, very, very well. So I don't expect these to do any different. But in the long term, we'll just have to see, and I'll keep you all informed on how they perform. As of now, I would say that they are worth what they cost. So again, yeah, I think they're probably worth the money. They're a good bit cheaper than the Surefire. So I'll give you an idea of like the difference in the Surefire RC2 as far as price is concerned. And again, it's somewhat apples to oranges. The Surefire includes the quick detach component here. Right? It includes that, whereas this version of the Lahar does not. So the L, which is comparable somewhat to the RC2. The RC2 is about an $1,100 to $1,200 suppressor. And then, of course, you have the $200 tax stamp, but we're just going off what the suppressor is. It's an $1,100 to $1,200 suppressor. And the The suggested retail price on the L, the Lahar L, is $750. So I think you've got that's a great value for the price compared to the Surefire. Now, the Surefire is probably not the best to compare it to. These are some of the most expensive suppressors out there. But it's what I have, and it's what I'll compare it now. I think it's worth the money. This is probably more comparable to like a Dead Air Nomad or something like that. A Nomad in the steel, not the titanium. And they're going to be comparable in price, actually, right in that same price range. So initially out of the box, yeah, impressed. Now let me see what they sound like. That's where the real impression is going to matter. Okay. So I suppose I will tag, or I'll place the videos of shooting this on the back end of this little initial review. And that'll still be an initial review as far as the sound is concerned. It won't be a full review. I'll have to wait to get, I don't know, 500, 600, 1,000 rounds through these things to understand if I really like them. But initially, I do like them. Right? And I do think they're probably worth what they cost. Okay, so now let's find out how quiet they are. All right, I hope this sound comes through good, but this is going to be the Lahar K first. I'll shoot 5 rounds through it, and then 5 rounds through the Lahar L. And I won't be able to tell perfectly, but I'll give you my thoughts afterward on what I think about it. Okay, so 5 rounds with the K. Again, this is 220 grain subsonic, 300 blackout. So it should be quiet. The first shot will be a little loud, and then the rest should get a little better. 5 shots with the K. Okay, that wasn't bad. Give me a second and let me change over to the L. Alright, now I have the L installed, 5 shots, again 220 grain subsonic, 300 blackout, 5 shots with the Lahar L. Very quiet. Alright, just closing thoughts on this video. Shooting the K and shooting the L, both suppressors were very comfortable to shoot without hearing protection. Even the K, the little shorty 5.1-inch suppressor, I mean, extremely comfortable without any kind of hearing protection on. So yeah, the K, the L, rather, the longer, was probably a little bit quieter to the ears. Noticeably, maybe a touch, but I would shoot either one without hearing protection without any issue whatsoever. There is no crack. This is with 300 blackout subsonic ammunition, so it just doesn't get any quieter than that, but they both do a real good job suppressing that. Now, again, this is the initial thoughts, the initial unboxing, the first shots that I put through the suppressors. I like them. I would recommend them at this point based on that, but as far as durability and long-term capability is concerned, I don't have that information for you right now. I don't know how accurate these are going to be out to range. Should that bother you? I don't know. Kind of depends on who you are. It will for me if I'm going to shoot it on my 6.5 PRC, and that'll be for a different video. Again, Aero's brand new line of suppressors, their Lahar 30, come in 3 different sizes, 5.2 or 5.1, 6.2 inches, and 7.2 inches, I think is what they are. I think they're a great product from what I know right this moment. Again, this is just simply my opinion. It's based on my initial reaction and impression upon these suppressors right out of the box. And yeah, thanks for sticking around. I hope this has been helpful. And if this has been helpful, hit the like and subscribe button. Right? A lot of people haven't done that. I need more to do that so that my content can get out to more people. I'm just a everyday guy trying to help some folks make some decisions about products. Suppressors are one, and yeah, I think Aero Precision is pretty good. All right, guys. Well, I will see you later.